One morning, as the nation's capital went to work, passers-by could see that here on the mall, a truck had brought a rather remarkable load. A crane began to swing two 5-ton modules into place. Just 18 hours later, Cardinal Industries, the nation's #1 manufacturer of modular housing, had created a fully landscaped, fully furnished, adaptable, barrier-free, one-bedroom apartment. It quickly became a star attraction of Inspire 85, the 3-day celebration of progress for disabled persons moving into the mainstream, in jobs, recreation, and independent living. It's a success story. Half a century ago, a man in the White House led a nation struggling to find its way up from the economic depths. For all his worries, Franklin D. Roosevelt, himself disabled by polio, found time to champion the handicapped of America. In creating the President's Committee on Employment of the Handicapped, FDR set in motion a chain of events that through the years has brought innovative solutions. The President's Committee declared the 1980s to be the decade of the handicapped, and at midpoint, a festival was held. At the committee's invitation, Cardinal was there.
Well, we've had contact with Ron Mace for some years. He is what we consider to be one of the primary consultants for code and design on handicapped access. He asked us if we would be interested in participating in this event.
Cardinal's commitment to barrier-free living goes back a good many years. Today, as managers of more than 40,000 Cardinal-built apartments and more than 75 Nights-In motels, the company has a lot of practical experience.
We are committed to meeting the needs of the physically disabled in housing. Our experience has shown that there is a wide range of requirements that identify what kind of housing is to be provided in a lot of different areas and regions in different states. We have found, though, through our experience, that the best way to meet the needs of the physically disabled is to provide them with some consistency, with providing them adaptability so that they will know that when they come to an apartment unit or a house, that there is going to be an option based on what their individual needs really are. If there is a commitment to adaptability, either by mandate or by the building industry in general, the resident will be able to anticipate that his needs will be met when he comes and is looking for a place to stay. We hope that through our participation, we will be able to join with others that have worked in this in the past, and that will see an opportunity for a solution for the future.
Architect Ruth Hall Phillips points out the advantage of adaptability over having fixed percentage accessibility set in building codes.
In the past, when they've specified housing requirements, they've always set a percentage, 2%, 4%, 1%.
For handicapped.
For handicapped or elderly. For handicapped, accessible units usually. And the problem with that is you have to find the right person at the right time to fill the unit. And if the unit sits there vacant and they don't find a handicapped person, they rent it to someone else. And when handicapped people come along, there are no units available. So it's much easier if you have an adaptable unit to be able to convert it with very little effort, as long as the clearances and the circulation areas are designed into the house. You can adapt the cabinetry, you can install the grab bars.
Once Cardinal Industries agreed to take part in Inspire 85, it rolled up its sleeves and went to work. First, the designers and engineers took the adaptability concept and drew up details for the apartment on the mall. Then, in the plant, module decks were built. Walls constructed on subassembly lines were set in place. A complete bathroom section was installed. Ceilings leaving the automatic spray tunnel were set. Heating and cooling units were installed. All along the way, the men and women who built these modules, plus a quality assurance team, double-checked the work. These modules left the factory 95% complete, including plumbing, wiring, appliances, and even light bulbs. But there were some important differences. Kim Kirkpatrick explained.
The adaptability of the unit actually begins at the front door with an adjustable threshold. Also, in place of our standard lock sets, we have lever handles throughout. The outlets are also raised higher than the normal height. Now in the kitchen, we have adjustable countertops. The entire base cabinet removes so that there are 3 different levels which the countertop can be adjusted to. Also, we've got switches on the walls to control the range fans rather than the standard controls. The bedroom closet is adjustable, the shelves and the hanging bar as well, up and down to suit the individual needs of the tenant. In the bathroom, we've installed reinforcing around the walls of the tub and also around the water closet so that we can install grab bars if necessary at some future date. Also in the shower, we have handheld water spray or the standard shower head, whichever is required. Also, the lavatory is higher off the floor than a standard would be in order to allow knee clearance for a wheelchair individual. We've also provided a lift seat on the toilet to raise the height of the seat for accessibility.
The 2 modules, loaded in Columbus, Ohio on one of Cardinal's special transporters, traveled the distance between 2 cities and safely arrived before dawn in Washington, D.C. Cardinal's expert setting crew swung into action. The patented lifting frame was attached to the crane cable. Quickly and easily, the frame was attached to lifting straps built right into the module. Up and away and down with great precision. Wheelchair ramps were installed. Shrubs and flowers, a hallmark of every Cardinal development, were set in place. Inside, an apartment was becoming a home. And Cardinal's adaptable apartment was ready when Inspire 85 officially began. Senator Robert Dole of Kansas, the U.S. Senate Majority Leader, was chairman of Inspire 85.
There are a lot of people who may have disabilities. Some may know about it, some may not know about it. But I never really believe that that should stop anyone from trying to achieve what they want to achieve. I believe that Americans with disabilities should have the right and the opportunity to function independently and creatively in our society rather than to be sort of segregated outside the mainstream, on the outside looking in. And Inspire 1985, through its focus on leisure and on sports and on cultural arts, clearly will contribute to this goal. So again, I thank everyone for permitting me to have a small part on the program. I thank you all for attending, and if we can be of any help down the road somewhere, give us a ring. Thank you very much.
Senator Dole took time out of his busy schedule to see Cardinal's adaptable apartment firsthand. Cardinal took part in Inspire 85 not only to share its expertise in adaptable, barrier-free housing, but also to listen, to learn. We had a chance to talk with many of the participants of the festival, as well as the general public. We listened to what their specific needs are and how housing should be designed to meet those needs. Miss Wheelchair America, Gaynell Colburn, toured the Adaptable apartment.
I'm a person first. Bear in mind that I do have special needs, and there are some things that I can't do the same way that you can, but there are other things that I may be able to do better. And so it's just a matter of people just listening to us and looking at us and trying to understand who we are, what we are. That's why we have Miss Wheelchair America and, you know, our regional queens to represent disabled people, because we're misunderstood in many cases.
One of the famous kids on the block almost popped a wheelie. He was so enthusiastic.
Hey, Will, a sink down low that I can reach. And it's all built right in. Cupboards I can get to, and the stove to make myself some pancakes with my twin brother, Michael. They can reach the faucet. Oh, you know what that means, don't you? I'm gonna have to do the dishes.
Cardinal's Jan Sokolnicki talked with Frank DeGeorge and Bob Moran of the Paralyzed Veterans of America.
I feel absolutely adaptability is the major thrust. This country's got a long way to go to provide accessible housing for disabled and elderly citizens. And what we've seen here today, this is a major effort towards achieving that goal. So I think you're on target.
A standardized unit that is accessible, that is not overly priced, that a handicapped individual can get into, that incorporates all the factors of accessibility. This unit today is on the right track, and it would be nice to see these standardized units nationwide.
I think the concept of adaptability, which is what this house epitomizes for the industry, I think it's an inspiration for the industry. The concept of adaptability is very important to both disabled people and the industry. I think people really are becoming more aware, and people are looking at disabled people differently. They're looking at disabled people as citizens who have a right to be about in the land, rather than people who are in a hospital or in a home for the incurables, or sitting around in their house because they can't get out. I like to talk about designing for the lifespan, because this house also accommodates an infant in a stroller. You don't have to collapse the stroller and carry it and the kid and the groceries up the steps in order to get in the house. Not only does it improve life for disabled people and increase the contributions of disabled people, but it also reduces the strain on society of having to house and care for people who could be productive.
One of the prime sponsors of Inspire 85 was the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
I am delighted that Cardinal was able to be here on the mall for Inspire 85. This year it reflects your commitment to quality housing, as well as your sensitivity to the needs of the handicapped and the disabled. And using Cardinal as the mascot, if you will, we hope to springboard this event today into a broader industry disability group dialogue that we hope will result in a broader understanding of the kinds of products that are available for the disabled, and spread the word throughout the industry that these kinds of housing make good economic sense from an industry point of view, as well as to be able to help the disabled. The disabled don't want a break, they just want an opportunity.
I think too often we see too many impositions by saying it can't be done because, rather than saying let's see how it can be accomplished. And I think the excitement was to see all the disabled visitors at the house yesterday, from the blind to the wheelchair users to other people who are mobility impaired to people who have some mental disability, enjoy seeing how they can live independent, have the potential of living very comfortably and beautifully. And I think that this house has just spoken volumes that any publication couldn't even begin to address. They can see a tangible example of their own independence as a disabled person, and they're not really disabled, they're enabled by accessibility and adaptability. And I really thank you for showing that to literally thousands of people during this festival.
Cardinal Industries was proud to play a role in Inspire 85. The needs of disabled persons are being met better than ever before. Opportunities in the workplace and in housing are now more widely recognized. Cardinal set out to bring this success story to the public's attention and was pleased by the media coverage of Inspire 85. Cardinal has met a lot of fine, dedicated people through Inspire 85. It's because of them and many others like them that this country's disabled persons are truly getting the chance they have so long sought to support themselves by their own work and to live independently when they so choose. Adaptability in housing now has the momentum it needs to become the standard approach to barrier-free housing in all 50 states. Cardinal Industries salutes the President's Committee on Employment of the Handicapped and all the people who contributed to Inspire 85. The spirit of the moment lives on.